girl take me home like that in Pennsylvania, but something went awry.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, you want to tell me this story?
I do. I want to hear about this.
All right, you're a lady, but
Yeah, I need you to say something that's going to paint you in a bad light.
All right, that's what
because
So, God, I was on the road. We just did shows in Bristol County. I don't know if this is this. I'll start this with a question. Do you feel sometimes you have bad taste in, like, even just if you're gonna, like, I don't know if you're promiscuous at all or have been promiscuous, but if you're just into a guy for the night and if you're just gonna make out with somebody drunkenly at a bar, you know what I mean? Like, do you feel like you have even bad taste in that kind of guy,
I just
or that kind of person, whatever you're into?
I mean, I was just in a chain smoker's backyard of a guy with no airbags
yeah,
in his car, so I don't think I'm batting 1,000. I'll say
I'm
that.
batting 1,000. I'm picking the pick of the litter.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not with the cream of the crop here.
I'm Bridget.
Yeah, not dealing with
I'm
the
available.
top brass.
Hey,
Yeah.
what's your name? Ted. Cool. What do you got?
That's fine.
Baseball cards, huh?
Right. The bar's on the ground. As long as if we get into an accident in your car, something will stop me. I'm in at this point.
I love how you're like, all right, he smokes like a pack of cigarettes, but you know what? Maybe I smoke and I don't.
Like you just. Yeah.
Maybe I like the smell of cigarettes and I don't know it. You know, I drink a little bit. Maybe.
Yeah. Everyone's got a vice. Like.
You reason it out, and then you're like, I feel like the airbags is like that's not a vice. That's just being poor.
That's that's poor and irresponsible.
Poor.
I don't know about that.
But so I sometimes feel. And maybe this is a guy thing, and I don't know, but like, and I've also like I've been like alone for a while, so like I feel like from a human being standpoint, when somebody shows you a little bit of attention, you're like, I have to go.
The
Like,
loneliness factor plays into it because if you've been lonely for a while, the bar starts to the standards slip, don't they? You know,
a little bit.
Yeah,
a little bit. But I was we were doing.
How far did they slip, Joe?
Oh God, I really hope you don't hate me by the end of the story. Like just from like a human being standpoint,
right? But
it's a hilarious story. So we're at we do shows out in Bristol, and after the first night, because we were going to drive back the next night and everything, because I had to work the next day, so at my regular job. So we were like, we're going to go out, after the first show and everything, and we'll, get hungover for the show. There's 150 people,
great,
which was great. But like, so we're out. After the show. The show's good. Where are we going? They point us to this bar where you could smoke inside. So already I was like, I'm getting hammered.
There you go.
Because if you're gonna tell, I don't have to. Because I'll actually like I have weird smoking habits. Like because it was cold out too. So if I'm like, I'll just sit in the bar.
Right.
Like I'll maybe go outside for like one cigarette, but I won't be out there like every 5 minutes because I'd rather be inside and warm than I would. So I know if in an avalanche situation, I could give up smoking.
That's great. Yeah.
But like so. When I'm inside, I'm smoking, I'm fucking getting hammered, I'm doing shots, and they have like shots that are basically just neat glasses of whiskey.
Right.
Having a great time. I'm not even talking to anybody, and this girl eventually comes up to me who I can only describe as like a WWE wrestler type, because she was like in shape.
Right.
You know what I mean? But she was like 45. She was older. And I was like, okay. And I said something jokingly like I do in my twisted mind where she said something like she knew one of the people that we were talking to. She's like, oh, what's your story? And I'm like, oh, I was just waiting to see when you were going to choke me. Because I was drunk and that's awful. Like,
great opening line.
And then she choked me.
No, she didn't.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of choke are we talking about?
Like a
Are we talking with the hand? Oh, wow.
She didn't like.
I didn't know if she got you in like a full Nelson and like.
She was like, "Oh, choke, all right," and she just put me into a fucking.
Yeah, exactly. You get you in an arm bar and
no,
like.
she like choked me and like stared at me and like
wow.
like did like had a look on her face where like this is not going to go well.
Wow, yeah, she called you right out on
and
that
she
one.
like just she was attractive and everything, and I was just like, okay. Something's happening to me right
fine.
now.
Yeah.
Because she I don't know. I've always admitted that I like to be treated like a little bit of a bitch in the bedroom. I've admitted this before to many people who know. I kind of like it.
Okay.
You know, I'm not saying fuck me in the ass with like a can of Campbell's soup. I'm saying like spit on me a little bit. Okay.
Okay, great. Glad to clarify.
That kind of shit.
Awesome.
All right. I know people that are in the feet. I'll fucking expose you all if you fucking give me shit.
Good.
Yeah, anyway. So I'm drunk too. Like I'm drunk and I'm like, oh my God. And I have like a cigarette hanging out of my mouth. I'm just like, oh God, every bad decision I was about to make. I'd like to also say I didn't have my phone on me. I left it in the room that we were staying
that's
at.
Bad.
But I'm with Rob and Terry. So I'm like, okay. And then she like comes up to me and she was just like, you want to come back to my car and smoke weed? And I'm like, yes. And she's like saying like, you're really cute. And I'm like, so nice. Like, and I'm like, you're like, you choke me. And I'm like trying not to be weird, but she was
Right.
just like, oh, you want me to choke you? And I'm like, ha ha, ha ha, okay. And I go back inside and I was just like, I'm going to go back to the hotel room with this woman. And like,
Great.
and I stress woman. And Terry and Rob were like, oh, okay. Like, and I go, I don't have my phone on me. And Terry's like, what? And then I just walked away.
Oh man.
I got into this woman's car and I go, I'm staying at the Red Roof Inn. Do you know where it is? And she goes, of course I know where it is. I deal drugs all around here.
It's great.
And I was like, red flag, but too late now.
Hey, you're blowing by all the red
Fucking
flags.
waved. I was like, don't care. Drunk on the road.
Yep.
And
At least you're a boy in this situation with the
I just
the
can't
no
believe
phone
I did something
thing.
worse than Terry. Like,
Yeah, that's fair.
I expected him to get into a fist fight in the bar with somebody.
Yeah, when you shock Terry with your actions, that's when you
and
know
he was
you're.
apparently genuinely concerned for me. And
Wow.
Rob said, he goes, I hope Winchell's not laying down in the tub with his kidney missing right now. Like,
But you know what? I don't know. You think it's the same? Because I feel like if it was a girl, like if it was me being like, "Hey guys, I'm going home with this guy. I don't have my phone." All my girlfriends would be like, "No, you're fucking not.
everybody just left me.
You will die. Like this is a recipe for a murder."
Oh yeah, and like listen. After that statement, it was just kind of like it was like a scene from a horror movie where it's just like go left and they go right instead, and
Yep.
it just all of a sudden the music hits and they drive off.
Yeah, you're just at their
But
mercy.
this lady's driving, and again, and this is I told you before. I thought she was very attractive, so naturally I'm like, deals drugs. I mean, in my head I'm like, whatever. I have friends who are drug dealers.
How bad could the drugs be that she's
goes-
dealing,
and
right?
she-
You're like,
exactly. You're like, how bad could the drugs
right? Like, are
be?
we talking weed? Or are we
I'll probably
talking
buy some off
heroin
you right now. And she's just like, it's like, yeah, you know, I deal meth everywhere, and I'm like, okay,
Solid.
We are already driving, and
Off
I'm
to the
just
races.
like, oh, okay, well, and then the comedian in me is like, get the story,
Do it for the plot.
right? The comedian in me is just like, I have to do this.
You do.
Because if I don't, then I don't have new material.
Yeah, right. Isn't that fucked up? How we
Isn't that
think like
fucked up? There's part of me, and I was like, whatever, fuck, just get drunk, get laid, have fun. Was my mentality.
Right.
Get to that, and I had to get to the hotel room. I had to get another hotel because I was staying in the room with Rob, and I love Rob, but I don't know him well enough to have sex with some random stranger in front of him. So I
Right,
thought
sure.
better against that.
Right.
So I went and got a room, and I was like, I'll be right back. I am drunk. I'm like, this is amazing. Like,
Right.
I also had a great set that night. And you know,
You're on
like,
a high.
and you know anybody that's like, if you have a couple drinks after a good set, and then someone says that you're attractive, you're like,
What is this? The best night of my life?
oh, but of course I am. It's like,
Right.
whatever happens, the world will take care of me.
Right.
Kind of did tonight, but like, I go in to get another room key because I was like, I want to go to another room, and then I'll meet up with them in the morning. Because I did tell them, I said, I'm going to go back to the Red Roof. You know,
Right.
I didn't say like, I didn't say like, hey, check if I'm actually back.
Right.
Or something like that. Or I didn't say like, I was just like on a mission. And then we get there, I go inside, I like knock on the fucking bulletproof glass in the shitty motel that
course,
we're
yep.
staying at on the road. And I'm like, key please. I need a room. And the worst part about it was she was like, oh, pay for it. She was all like into this. She was like, oh no, I'm taking care of you tonight. Here,
She paid for
she
it?
paid for the room.
Oh my God.
I was like, sweet. And I was like, I was going to give her money to let everybody know out there. I was like, oh, I'll give her when I go back out there. So I got the room key and I'm like, this is great. Let's go debauchery. And then I walk out and
Wow.
there's just a cop car behind her. Like the car. There's just a cop car, like scan the license plate. And I'm like, maybe they're checking all the cars and everything's fine.
Or they're just checking the car of the meth
Well,
dealer.
I immediately thought that I'm like, oh, fuck. They think I'm picking up a prostitute. Because I'm
That
like,
too.
oh, and I'm like, no money was exchanged.
You're like, no, you don't understand. She paid for
No,
it.
you don't understand. Hooker gave the money back.
Yeah, you got reverse
An
prostituted.
immediate fear just stroked through my spine because I saw a cop and I'm like, I'm going to get arrested in Pennsylvania. Before I was like, I'm going to die in this lady's car in Pennsylvania. Now I'm
Right.
like, I'm going to get arrested in Pennsylvania
Right.
under circumstances that eventually I'm going to have to explain to extended members of my family
100%.
but why I got arrested in Pennsylvania.
Wow. Wait. So he's looking at her
So
car.
I was looking at the car and I'm like, then he drives back, and I'm like, I want to get in the front seat. And I'm like, fuck out. We walk to the room. I'm like, all right, maybe everything's fine. Maybe they were, maybe they thought it was somebody else. And I was just like, okay. And I was like, hey, let's walk to the thing. I thought I saw a cop car, and she's like, oh yeah, let's walk. I don't want to get in trouble or anything. And then like, as soon as I said that, a cop just came up and like with the flashlight and goes, excuse me. I don't want to say her name, but she like said her by name. And I was just like, oh fuck. Like,
Oh, you don't want the police to know your name already.
yeah. And I was like, this isn't good, but they didn't know my name. And I was just like sitting in the front seat. And I don't know what happened. All I know is they seemed very concerned with the car.
Okay.
Not so much that. And immediately I was like, they're going to think that I'm picking up a prostitute.
Yeah.
They didn't even want to talk to me. So there's something to do with the car. Probably, and I think the registration was like super up on her car
You
or
think
some
she
shit.
stole it? Okay, all right.
I don't know. I'm not making any judgment calls, but I
Damn.
remember thinking I have to make sure that I check out of this lady's room tomorrow because I would feel terrible. Like, because she was like, oh, well aware of that. So I was like, all right, I kind of feel like shit, but I don't feel like shit because it was her suggestion and I was
No.
hammered and I only had cash on me. I didn't, because I was waiting for my check to clear the next day on Friday from work.
Oh my God.
So I had cash and I was like, I have cash. She's like, just put it on my card. And I'm like, all right, I'll give you cash. Because she was like, let's just go. And I'm like, this is, when you're like with somebody and you're like, just get in the room.
Yeah.
Like, and yeah. And then the cops arrested her. And I was like,
They arrested her?
yeah, they arrested her.
Cuffs.
Cuffs. I wanted to see her in handcuffs. But
Did
not
you
like
stay
that.
in her fucking room?
I had to go to the room because they were like, what? I had the key in my hand and they could see it. It's like, what room are you staying in? I'm like, 249.
Wow.
And I was like, and I walked like over to the room and I like stayed in there for 15 minutes.
Did she say anything as she was getting like hauled away?
They were like, do you think you should take your car? And I was actually one to be like, sir, I do not think it's a good idea to leave me in possession of this car. I have been drinking a lot tonight.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and like I was just like, and she actually agreed, which maybe everything was cool. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe everything was fine. That's
she just
insane.
goes, she's like, oh yeah, okay, yeah.
As she's like getting hauled away. I had a great time
100%.
tonight. Like,
I was like, what do I say?
wow.
Bye.
Wow.
So I had to go back to the room and I like go out and I felt bad. Like I didn't do anything.
Yeah, why did you feel
I
bad?
don't know because I'm an empath and I don't want people.
You're like, oh, she got arrested.
And she was
like,
gonna have sex with me and it didn't happen. And I was like, I hope that poor girl's
that is the
okay.
biggest cock block of the
It
century.
was a cop block.
It
is
really
what it was.
Like, you literally cannot
That's
even...
what Terry called it.
Yeah.
Because I wake up the next morning. Well, no, I went back. I wasn't going to stay in that room. I was like, I
Wow.
feel dirty. I got to go. So I went like over to stay in the room with Rob and I just opened the door and he goes, what happened? Did you finish early? And I go, you're not going to believe what just happened. Like,
Wow. That was the universe just being like, oh, no, you don't.
okay, so this is what I wanted to get to. And we have 5 more minutes left. This is what I wanted to get to. So I wanted to ask you, I think either the universe was trying to tell me something.
Right.
Or just trying to protect me from getting AIDS. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, no, it sounds like
And I'm not
you
saying she
would've
looked like she had AIDS. But I'm
Yeah.
saying, like, if I did get it, people would be like, on the road, huh? Like,
You'd be like, it definitely was the meth dealer that
yeah,
gave it to
do you
me,
think
I
you got the
think.
clap from the bed spring or the meth dealer that you had sex with
Yeah, it
at
was
2 a.m.
definitely that.
in the Red Roof Inn?
Yeah, dude. I think that's a blessing in disguise,
All right.
honestly, if I had to guess.
But so I am the shittiest person in the
Holy
room.
shit. No. I
You think
honestly
less
don't
of me
think
now?
No, I don't.
You have to counteract me. Did you pick up some sailor one time in New York City and like leave him like
Never. I've never done that.
or, like drowned somebody and didn't tell him? Like,
I
never-
definitely don't think less of you.
Yeah.
I think it's fucking
I
hilarious.
think hookups are necessarily like weird interactions. Also, like
course they
that
are.
shit, 50-50 shot. If you pick up a stranger at the bar,
Oh yeah.
you're like, you may get laid, but like
Or
you
she
may
may get
also
arrested.
end up in a bad situation.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Wow.
That's who
nuts,
I am,
dude.
Bridget.
That is, yeah. So clearly things are going well for both of us.
I just think, and I should have been like, I have to go back to my hotel room,
Right.
but I didn't do that. Like I went to it.
That's fucking wild.
It was a fucking, and I just remember thinking like this is really funny actually. So the next day we're at the show, and I'm hosting and I'm going over the lineup and everything. We had 2 guest guys coming from Philly, and some dude comes up to me who I'd never seen before, and he's got like the you ever seen the show The Punisher, like black,
Yes,
like that kind
yep.
of jacket. It's green though. He comes up to me and he goes, Joe, and I'm like, yeah.
Oh,
And I'm like in a state where I'm like, I feel like I have a target on my back anyway. I'm
you're like, he's the kingpin.
I was
He's the
like,
meth kingpin.
what's
Here to
happening?
kill me.
And I was just like, what's happening? And he goes, oh, I'm so-and-so's brother. Like, says her name's brother. And I was just like, and I looked and I was like, okay, let's talk outside. Because immediately I was like, I have a show to do in an hour. I can't have this asshole messing things up. And I was going to like motion to Rob and be like, you're a feature. You got to keep this fucking guy outside. Like.
So what I'm hearing is her
But-
first call from prison.
There's more.
Oh my God.
As soon as I go to be like, let's talk outside, the guy just turns to me and goes, dude, I'm just kidding. I'm Terry's friend. He told me to say this to you.
Oh my fucking God. Oh my God. Because I was going to say,
My
if
heart.
this woman.
I was like, I'm going to kill you. Like,
That's actually fucking hilarious.
He got it on film. If you go, I'll fucking find the footage and we'll find the link on Terry's and put it on there. But the footage of me,
oh my, that's amazing.
You see me just go into the chair like, oh my god,
go white.
I thought I was gonna have to like take a beating and then like beat this guy up. What are you looking at on here right now, Chris? Are you trying to find it? I think it was on Terry's timeline. I don't think it's there anymore.
Oh my god!
Or go down.
Because I'm just imagining like this woman's first call from prison is to her brother and being,
is that it? Play it.
Oh god, here we go. Let's see this.
Play this. This is Terry McNeely's page.
Oh my god, dude, you look like afraid.
Chris, make sure you beep her name out. Okay. Yeah, I was.
No,
I was
dude,
like, you saw what I did. I was like, let's talk outside.
Cool, let's go.
Yeah, because I was like, I have to go.
Oh man,
I have to like not cause a scene right now.
Imagine that actually happened though, and she just like used her only phone call from prison to be like, "Hey man, you
go beat this dude up.
Find this Long Island comic who's here in Bristol, Pennsylvania."
But I also was like, I didn't have my phone on me, so everybody's like, "You didn't text her?" I'm like, I didn't have my phone.
That's lucky.
She knew my name, and like this lady was looking for a chance encounter.
I hope she listens to this podcast.
I hope she's okay. I mean it. I hope everything worked out.
Yeah, I hope she's
bad.
out of the slammer. I hope for her sake.
The millennial stoner outro song. Yeah, pack a bowl and sing along. Blah, la, blah, la, blah, la, 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 la. Ba, ba, blue sheep, ba, 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 ba. This is the favorite podcast of the Dalai Lama.